Monday afternoon, room fivers. Saw a lot of you. I'm wearing my jammies. I hope you guys are too. I saw a lot of you this morning. It was so nice to see those sweet faces. We'll do another one of those videos probably later this week. So I'm excited. I hope you enjoyed it. So we're going to read nonfiction, Insect Detective. It's written by Steve Voake and illustrated by Charlotte Voake. I wonder if they're married or brother and sister maybe. So this is the front cover. Dragonflies. This looks like some kind of flying insect, huh? Oh, ladybug. Right now, all around you, thousands of insects are doing strange and wonderful things. But you can't always see them right away. Sometimes you have to know where to look. So this is just like our frog, Growing Frogs book. So there's a bit of a story, but then over on each page, there's some information, some nonfiction stuff that they can tell us. So this says there are more insects living in the world than all other animals put together. About 200 million insects for every single person. Listen, over by the fence, can you hear a scratching sound? A wasp is scraping away at the post with her strong jaws. She's collecting wood. She mixes that wood into a soft pulp in her mouth. When she has enough, she'll help the other wasps build a nest out of paper. Not all kinds of wasps live together, but many of them do. Wasps often collect different kinds of wood, which makes their nests look stripy, just like the insects who made them. Insects that live together are called social insects. Ants always live together. They usually make their nests underground. Finding an ant's nest is easy. First, find an ant, then follow it. It might stop to chat with some other ants along the way. Ants can communicate by touching their antennae together. But after a while, the ant will head home and you'll be able to find out where it lives. Like all insects, ants have three main body parts: abdomen, thorax, and head. Solitary bees live by themselves. Solitary means alone. This female solitary bee is busy collecting food from spring flowers. She'll store it in her tiny nest so that it will be ready for when her eggs hatch. Solitary bees make their nests in holes in the ground, cracks in the walls, or in tiny cavities that have been left by other insects. Cavities are just holes. All insects start life as eggs. Many animals like to eat insects for dinner, so some insects use camouflage to blend in with their surroundings. Look at this crinkly brown leaf. Can you see a crinkly brown herald moth too? They often rest in trees during the day so that birds won't see them. Insects have other ways of hiding too. See the squiggly lines on these leaves? Oh yeah, here they are. They were made by a leaf miner caterpillar. The leaf miner protects itself by living between the top and bottom layers of leaves, a bit like hiding in a sandwich. Lift up a stone and you might see an earwig scuttle out. They like to hide in the damp and the dark. The pincers on the tips of their abdomens make them look kind of scary, but don't worry, they're completely harmless. Ooh, this is what they look like. We used to have these at the house where I grew up. They freaked me out a little. Female earwigs are very good mothers. They work hard to keep their eggs clean, turning and washing them regularly. When the young hatch, their mothers bring them food until they're old enough to look after themselves. Of course, you might find some creatures under there that aren't insects. Spiders, woodlice, centipedes, slugs, and once I found a baby frog. It's easy to tell whether something is an insect or not. I'll bet you guys know this. All you have to do is count the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it has 6 legs, it's an insect. If it doesn't, it isn't. If you're lucky, you might even find a colored ground beetle gleaming in the sunlight. It's like discovering a precious jewel. But beetles aren't just pretty to look at. They're excellent hunters, too. At night, they go out hunting for slugs and snails, which makes gardeners very happy. Slugs and snails can kind of ruin the plants in a garden. So if this guy's eating them, that means there's less plants that get ruined. Perhaps the greatest insect hunter of all is the dragonfly. Even the name sounds fierce. But don't worry, they won't come chasing after you. Dragonflies are much more interested in catching things like flies, mosquitoes, and gnats. Some will even snatch a spider from its web. On summer days, when the air is still, you can see their wings sparkling in the light as they hunt, twisting, diving, and plucking flies from the air. Dragonflies are fabulous flyers. They have 2 sets of powerful wings, which they can use to hover, change direction, and even fly backwards. They can fly backwards. It's hard to believe they started life in the water, but dragonflies lay their eggs in ponds or slow-moving rivers where they hatch out into small dragonfly nymphs. A nymph sheds its skin many times until it's fully grown. Finally, it climbs out of the water and rests on the stem of a plant. As dawn breaks, its skin splits open and a beautiful dragonfly emerges, unfolding its wings and drying itself in the sun. Dragonfly nymphs are the young wingless versions of adult dragonflies. They don't have wings when they're first born. The special changes that take place in insects' bodies are called metamorphoses. They happen in different ways as insects grow from eggs to adults. Sometimes, when you think about these strange and wonderful things, moths hiding, ants talking, dragonflies changing, it's hard to believe that they could really be true, but you don't have to take my word for it. All you have to do is open the door and step outside. Pretty soon we'll be able to do that comfortably, huh? Be an insect detective. These are little things that you can do. Find out which beetles live near you by burying a jar in the ground. Any beetles walking over the top during the night will fall in, but remember to check every morning and to let them go when you finish looking. When it gets dark, put a camping light on a white sheet outside. This will attract moths and you'll be able to get a really close look at them. Allow a patch of nettles, I think that's a plant, to grow in a corner of your yard. Lots of caterpillars love to eat them. How many can you find? Try making a place for solitary bees to live. Rinse out an empty tin can, put some glue or melted wax in the bottom, and fill it with drinking straws. Then hang the can with the straws pointing slightly downward to prevent rain collecting in them. When spring arrives, you'll soon see a few bees coming along to investigate. Flying can be hard work for bumblebees. If you see one crawling around on the ground, it may have run out of energy. Mix some sugar and water in a teaspoon and give the bee a drink. It'll soon be busy among the flowers again. Take a close look at wooden tables, fences, or benches you see outside. If they have tiny lines all over them, you'll know a wasp has been there before you. In hot, thundery weather, keep an eye out for swarming ants. When the temperature is just right, the young queens will be brought up to the surface, where they will mate before flying away to start new colonies. Those are some cool ideas for when it gets a little bit warmer outside and less rainy. So I'm wondering if you would be able to maybe write a few facts, something that you added to your schema when you were listening to this. I know we know a lot about insects. We see them around and they're not strange to us, right? But you probably learned a few extra things by listening to this book. Maybe 2 or 3 things that you added to your schema just by looking at this book. And if you want to share them with just me, or if you want to share them with the whole class, you can send them to me and just let me know that I can share them with the whole class, and I'll put them on our Instagram. All right? Love you guys. Have a great day, and you'll see me soon.